All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in after 9 straight years of winless seasons in Jacksonville. Could this be the year the Colts get a victory? We will give you our keys to the game, matchups to watch, all-in player to watch as well, and our prediction. So, let's go all-in Colts.
I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All-In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. The Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014 with Andrew Luck. Feels so long ago.
It was.
And now they head into town to face a desperate team with their backs against the wall because they are 0-4.
Yeah. Do you really want to mess with a Jaguar that's hurt and up against the wall? Feels threatened? I don't know. The Jaguars, though, chose this game to debut their Prowler throwback uniforms. This is the original look they had back in 1995, although one of the uniform people pointed out that this is actually due to the number font from 1998. So they're going to chalk it up as the 30-year-old uniform. But they continued to wear that uniform until 2008. So it's not even 30 years old. It's only no older than 16.
Yeah.
So this thing can barely drive, can't buy a pack of cigarettes, can't vote, can't drink. It's not a legal adult, and it can't even get a vintage license plate on a car. Yeah. I mean, at that point, they could have gone for a 10-year-old look and gone with these beauties right here. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Blake Bortles.
It's unappetizing to look at.
Yeah. But just for reference, here's what the Prowlers look like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, incidentally, that Jaguar on the side there, they had to change that. Originally, it was much more of a profile, like right.
Yeah.
Body out this way. I'm just not going to do that because that'd be weird. Yeah. But they had to change it because it looked too much like the Jaguar manufacturer of cars. So
yep,
they
makes sense.
They got some copyright infringement upon them. So there you go.
Makes sense. The point is, the Jaguars may not have been around long enough for consistent enough in their uniforms to have a throwback. Plus, they are 4-12 against the Colts in this look, including 2-5 in Jacksonville. If you're superstitious about the things you wear on game day, yeah, that's me.
If you're superstitious about that, then, these kinds of things matter, like records and against teams. And you know what? Given what's going on, we'll take anything that we can.
Sure.
Just how it goes. All right. So it's time to get into the game. What are, sir, your keys to the game?
Run the ball and keep running the ball.
Starting it off strong.
JT has had 3 really good weeks in a row. Let's not make it a bad week for him. Let's offensive line, do your job. JT, do your job. I don't know who's at quarterback. There's a lot of stuff I could say, but I don't know who's at quarterback. So I'll kind of go over both scenarios.
Okay.
If AR is there, don't be afraid to take the deep shots. We saw it last week. I called it. I literally called it. I said, on second or first down of the game, just take a deeper shot. I said take a deep shot, meaning like 50 yards, but we took a deep shot for like 30-something yards with MPJ. I saw that. I'm like, okay, this is the game. MPJ has his game of the season, and he did. So let's do that again. If we have AR, let's do it again. If we have Joe Flacco, let's just methodically go down the field, methodically score, waste 7-8 minutes off the clock every single time. Control the clock. I think if you don't control the clock, especially in Jacksonville, whenever you know you haven't done well these past 9 years, I think that's whenever you kind of struggle. I think since we are a run-first offense, we need to be able to control the clock how we want to. That's why you run the ball, is to control the clock. So I think we need clock control. And then on defense, send some blitzes. Trevor Lawrence is not as good as people think he is. I think people are finally starting to realize that. And, I mean, their receiving core is good. Watch out for Brian Thomas Jr. He's definitely a big player. Evan Ingram, if he's not hurt, he's a big player as well. So there's a lot of big players that they have that can make big plays. So limit those big plays. Bend, don't break defense. That is what we want. We obviously know we don't have the personnel necessarily to match all-star player for all-star player, but that's fine. I don't know how Kenny is looking or Quiddy or any of them. As far as I know, they're not looking
Not
good.
practiced yet.
Okay.
The injury report was long, and most of them, including Grant Stewart, even did not practice. The only limited participant was Anthony Richardson.
Gotcha. So on defense, let your top tacklers feast. Let EJ, Nick Cross get in there, Zaire Franklin get in there. And my last thing is Latu, keep getting the pressure in. You have been phenomenal. As of right now, I think he looks like the defensive rookie of the year, in my opinion. So I think you just need to let Latu loose. He needs to keep going, keep doing what he's been doing.
All right. So there are question marks that they have. We obviously have question marks on the injuries as well. But theirs, I think, are bigger. Because you got Josh Hines Allen. He's got a concussion, and you know how fickle those things can be. He might be able to make it back, but he might not. He did not practice. Foyo Luquan has been out. Is he going to make it back? Devin Lloyd, linebacker, he didn't practice. Evan Ingram was limited. Is he going to make his return now? Because he's been a big component that they've been missing the past few weeks with him out. Tyson Campbell is their star cornerback that we couldn't think of yesterday. He has been out, but now if I was reading it correctly, he was been limited as well on this. So those injuries, whether they play or not, is going to play a huge role in this game. Those are big-time players that can make a difference if they're in there and make a big difference if they leave a hole for the Colts.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Doug Peterson is blaming players. He's not taking over play calling, and he's frustrated with the media because they're asking him about his job security. As an organization, I mean, it was terrible against under Urban Meyer. Let's just admit that. They look like they're just imploding, and Doug Peterson looks like he's fed up and he's done. He needs to move on. But the Urban Meyer Jaguars beat the Colts in Jacksonville when all the Colts had to do was win that one game, and they were in the playoffs and they couldn't get it done. So weirder things have happened. So be aware. But they have an elite, if everyone's in there, they have an elite defensive front four.
Yeah.
But the Colts have an elite offensive line.
Best
On the
in
other
the
side,
league. Best in the league.
That's right. And they proved it against the best in the league. The Jaguars, on the other hand, their O-line is in question. So, second week in a row, I'm stealing a line from Remember the Titans. You're welcome. Still haven't watched it, have you?
I have not, no.
Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt.
Yep.
They're weak in O-line, so get after them. I know we're down Tyquan. I know we're down Sampson. I know we're down Buck. It doesn't matter. Like, we've seen Isaiah land. Like, I know he got that penalty, but he got the sack, right? Let Isaiah land in there. Let Dio in there. Run 4 edge across at some point.
Yeah.
Pressure that Trevor Lawrence. Okay? Get the pressure on him. Okay? Vary the looks. I know this is challenging for Gus Bradley. I know he doesn't like to do this a lot. But vary the looks and coverages so Lawrence doesn't get comfortable.
Yeah.
That's where he is so dangerous, right? Like, we admit, like, and I think more people need to realize this, and I think they are, that they should not have paid him what they paid him. But when he's the most dangerous, and somehow the Colts have seen this firsthand, is when he gets comfortable and he can just dump it quick, this, quick, that, quick, this, and then all of a sudden, deep shot, right? Don't let him get comfortable with a stagnant, always seeing the same kind of look. Bring some pressure off the edge. Bring a corner blitz. That dude does not like to be uncomfortable. And they even pointed out, as I was watching the broadcast that they had against Houston this past week, that he gets out and he gets uncomfortable. He'll start moving to his left and do a useless spin move to spin out of the pocket. It's frivolous. His back is turned to the entire field for a split second. I don't know why he does it. I don't know why he thinks it's successful. I don't know why he moves to his left when he's a right-handed quarterback. You should move to your right. Your natural inclination should be move to your right. If you're going to cut the field in half, at least cut the field in half where you're not going to have to reset your feet to throw the ball, right?
Yeah.
So there's little things that he does that's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get him in those situations. Make him make those wrong instincts come out.
I seem to.
If all he has to do is dump it off to Bigsby, dump it off to Etienne, find Ingram in the flat, it's going to be a long day for the Colts.
I seem to see a trend with the AFC South. I don't know if that's true about our quarterback. Quarterbacks don't like to be under pressure in the AFC South. So
nobody likes to be under pressure. I think the only quarterback that's really great under pressure might be Joe Flacco. Speaking of which, I don't have really anything offensively here.
Okay.
I think you're right on with the run the ball, keep running the ball, chew up the clock. The way that I used to beat you in Madden is the way the Colts beat the Jaguars. Run the ball, blitz. Run the ball, blitz. That's how, correct me if I'm wrong, that's always how I used to beat you in Madden, right? Before you became amazing at it, and now you.
I don't know about amazing. I think
I was just used to the old. I never grew past a certain level of.
Yeah, you never grew past Madden 25, not the new one that just came out.
Anniversary.
The 25th anniversary, which was an amazing game, by the way.
Yeah.
I still wish I had it.
When you can get Sweetness in the backfield and Jerry Rice on the outside with Joe Montana throwing the ball, and that can be your team. You just described my GOAT quarterback, my GOAT receiver, and my GOAT running back.
Yep.
Call me old school if you want. I'm fine with that. Ain't no school like it.
I think two of those are very viable. One of them is put up for question. but Joe Montana.
Question is which one? Which one is
Joe-
put up for question? Are you questioning Jerry Rice?
No, Jerry Rice statistically and impactfully is the best wide receiver of all time. Barry Sanders, I would agree with as well. For a little bit, I thought Walter Payton. But
That's sweetness. Yeah, that is Walter Payton.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is my GOAT.
Oh, okay.
And then
Right.
Tom Brady is my GOAT. So,
All right.
So we have differing stuff. I don't agree with you about everything.
I know.
So
That's fine. We can agree
I
to
know,
disagree.
but our podcasts people don't necessarily know that because we seem to agree on a decent amount of stuff.
It's fine. You can be wrong. It's fine.
No, I don't know if I'm wrong. I think you are.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Anyways,
There's just no one. There's just like, as I have mentioned before, Tom Brady did not win all of the championships that he won. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Malcolm Butler won him 1, combined with Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Like they together won him 1. His defense won him 2 others. The times when Tom Brady actually had the capability of actually winning a Super Bowl, you know what happened?
They lost.
Eli Manning beat him.
Yep. In
both of those times. When they had the best offense ever maybe constructed, other than maybe the 2016 Broncos. Is that the one?
Is that the one with Peyton, Demaryius
That's the
Thomas?
one where they only lost to the Legion of Boom in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had Randy Moss. They had the most touchdowns together of anyone ever, including Joe Montana. But they lost in the Super Bowl. You know who didn't lose in the Super Bowl? Joe Montana. Not Joe Nevada. Joe Montana.
Yep.
Not Joe Idaho. I'm just thinking of other Western states.
Not Joe Wyoming.
Joe Wyoming. Joe Montana.
Yep.
Joe Montana. You got to pressure. Okay, back to the keys to the game here. Sorry, my bad. You got to pressure Lawrence relentlessly. Stay after him. Blitz. Okay, here we go. Another one. Third one. Where'd you go?
I'm turning down the AC. It's really cold. Sorry.
You can't complain about being cold.
Yes,
Okay.
I can. It's like
here it is. Third one.
50 degrees in here.
Third one in 2 weeks. We're going to blitz all night. There you go.
I am watching that movie tonight. I am watching the whole thing tonight because I don't have an early class tomorrow. I have one class tomorrow. I can sleep in. Nick and me are hanging out. I'm watching Remember the Titans tonight.
Do it.
We're gonna go get.
Yes.
He's going to get burgers. I'm gonna get pizza.
Don't get ketchup on that uniform. Don't. If you do, wash it out with water. But until then, we're gonna do up downs. Okay. All right.
Until Blue is no longer tired.
Okay. So blitz all night. Pressure him relentlessly. Get after him. Make him like pull him down by his Jennifer Lawrence hair, right? If you got to. That's not, you can't horse color him, but you can pull him down by his hair. That's legal. So
You get them.
you ready? Couple more keys. Protect the ball.
Oh,
Take the ball.
not
I waited this long for that. This long. Hi, Jake. Protect the ball. Take the ball. Win the turnover battle. You know what? I am not the only one who thinks this. Check this out.
Obviously, we want to take care of the football. I thought we did that last week. Getting the takeaways, we got that. We got to continue doing that because, we talk about all the time. Winning the turnover battle is huge in this league, and we got it done last week.
Man, they should just listen to our podcast all the time. To prepare for the game, they should just listen to our podcast.
I feel the same way. I've felt this for almost as long as we've done this. I feel like we say something and then they do it.
Yep, finally catch up. Maybe
Like-
they are watching.
Maybe they are. Maybe
Hi,
no,
Colts.
they're not. I mean, Ballard certainly isn't.
Maybe he is, but he's being stubborn.
It does seem like a Ballard thing. I'm gonna try to do everything I can to get Texas people on here, right? Because we're in Texas. He's from Galveston. That's where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Jones is an Army kid from San Antonio. Like Grant Stewart is a Houston kid. A.D. Mitchell grew up in the same place that I used to live in Missouri City.
Yeah.
If we get Ballard on here, if we get Ballard on here, that's like Pat McAfee show getting Goodell on there.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we get Ballard on here,
we need to rip him apart. Ask him all the questions.
But be nice about it at the same time, right?
We don't want to be like other Indianapolis media, though.
No, but Pat was all super like, I'm gonna, but then when they get on, it's like, hey, peanut M&Ms, how are you? You know, it was very political, and it's nice. But anyway,
yeah.
All that to be said, yes, it's almost like they're watching, or maybe just it's a very common thing, turnover battle thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll say it. I will say it all the time. But the Jags are last in the NFL in takeaways, so don't let them do it. Don't let them do it, but we can do it all we want. Shane Steichen is 4-9 all time against Doug Peterson and 1-3 over the last 3 years as they've gone head to head in some offensive fashion, coordinator and such, or head coach. What are your matchups to watch?
I think first off, it has to be JT versus Josh Hines-Allen if he's in there, and Oluquan if he's in there as well, because Oluquan had a big tackling year last year. I don't know much players on their defense, to be honest, so I'm kind of just going to name out positions that I think.
Yep.
And I'm going to go with both scenarios being AR and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, watch the linebackers and safeties for Jacksonville. For the tight ends, because the tight ends are a big threat whenever Joe Flacco is in there, and we know that. We saw that last week. We saw that last year with David Njoku. Watch out for that. If AR is in there, send Pierce deep a lot, because we know how much of a threat that could be. If he's in single coverage, test him. Throw the ball to Pierce. Put it up there. Give him a jump ball. I guarantee you he'll catch at least one. So that's kind of my keys on offense. My matchups to watch on offense. Sorry. And then on defense, Travis Etienne versus Zaire and EJ, and I'm gonna add one more on there, being Nick Cross. Which normally you don't add a safety to that, but he's just got a nose for the ball. And then EJ is also more of our pass coverage linebacker whenever we only have two in there. Yes, we run three. We run a base a lot of the time. But EJ seems to be that guy. And then Blackman as well, guarding Evan Ingram. You always have to have that linebacker who covers him in the shallow and then passes him off in the deep to the safety. Watch the over the top balls, like you kind of talked about a little bit. Short, long type of game. And then Latu get so much pressure. Just go, destroy their offensive line. It's not a good offensive line. They're not like terrible, obviously, but Latu, you get in there, get a sack, get 2 sacks, solidify being defensive rookie of the year so far. Do for me if anything else.
Yeah. Get after Jennifer.
Yep.
I got Braden Smith and Bernie Ryman versus Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. To me, that is the number one. That's got to be, right? That is the heart of their defense. Now, Josh Hines-Allen may have a concussion. He may be out, so that kills one right there. I mean, not literally, but takes care of one you don't have to worry about.
Hopefully not, literally.
That's too much. We're not going there. In addition to that and what you said, I have the Colts secondary versus Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas. My big question here is who's number one? You know, like
Mhm.
Christian Kirk in the slot. Okay. Is Kenny going to be back? Whatever that is, if it's Chris Lamons, Sam Womack came out big. But then, the big question is who's Jalen Jones line up against? Or do you just say, okay, we're going to line Jalen Jones up on whatever side he's most comfortable on, right side, left side, and we're just going to let them dictate who we're on because we're confident in who we have, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to make sure you take away the big shot to Gabe Davis and you say, well, we're going to play press man, which Jalen Jones is best at, on Brian Thomas, right? Do you or do you say, you know what? We know that Gabe Davis is the biggest threat, and we can double cover Brian Thomas and pass him off on a zone or whatever on the other side, and we can have Sam Womack, but then pass him off to Blackman as he gets deeper, whatever. That's my big question: is who's number one? How are you lining up that defense?
Mhm.
Then let's see. One you didn't say, Josh first downs versus the rookie, Jerrion Jones. Burn the rookie. Burn him because all those quick feats and those quick movements and all that stuff that Josh first downs is so good at, Jerrion Jones I don't think can keep up with. Target him, right? If you got somebody new that just came in, you go after him. We talked about that. If you got a rookie, go at him.
Yep.
And then a bigger one, just the Colts versus Duval.
Yeah.
Have to overcome it. This is it. We're not going 10. We're not making it to double digits here. Let's take care of it and let's be over and done with it and let's move on. Right?
Mhm.
Let's capitalize on the Prowler throwbacks and go back to the old days where the Colts would just beat up on the Jaguars all the time. Let's go back. Let's do it.
Yep.
And then the last one that I said is I'm going to say until it's fired or it's fixed. And I don't know until the next 2 games on the road against a divisional opponent that it actually is fixed. Gus Bradley versus Press Taylor or Doug Peterson or whoever is calling plays because I'm not sure the Jaguars know that right now. Gus is 2-6 all time versus Peterson in some role on the team. So not good, right? Not good, but gotta capitalize on that matchup.
Yeah.
Who's your all-in player to watch?
I think I'm not going to think about it too hard. Jonathan Taylor. 3 big weeks. He needs to have another one here because their run defense isn't that good. He played better run defenses and smoked that better run defense. I'm looking for him to have a big game, maybe 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Normally it doesn't happen whenever I actually predict it, which is kind of sad. But hopefully he has a big game. I think he's definitely needed for an impact. So,
all right. We are not sure the health of Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to take a little bit of a deep dive here, and I'm going to say Tyler Goodson.
Okay.
I think that even if JT can get back and get healthy, I'm not sure that he can. I'm not sure that it's the best timing for him to push through since the bye week isn't until much, much later. And you got 2 road games against divisional opponents. I'm wondering if Tyler Goodson has a day.
Yeah.
What's your prediction then?
My prediction 21-13 Colts.
I got 27-25 Jaguars. Here, let me explain. You're superstitious about your game day apparel.
Yeah.
I'm just a little stitious on my predictions. I
Okay.
picked them to win the first 2 weeks. They didn't. I picked them to lose the last 2 weeks. They did. They won.
It's true.
This is not one of the pick six. This is not like a big. If I can predict them to lose, so they win.
So be it.
Obviously, if I think that they're definitely going to win, I'm going to pick them to win. But I think that, unfortunately, they might lose this one.
Okay.
Well, that is it for this week. We'll be back to recap this Jaguars game, have our regular update from the South minus the Titans on a bye week, so it's a little weird. Our fantasy stable, unstable pick six, and our preview of the trip to Nashville to take on the Titans in back-to-back AFC South road games.
Yep. Well, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Remind you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.